What's up, everybody? It's Connor and Joshua with Chamber One Tactical. Today we have a video about the Springfield Prodogy comp. As you guys know, we've done a Prodogy video, we've done an Echelon video, we've done an Echelon comp video, and Joshua said, well, while I'm spending all this money, I might as well buy the Prodogy comp. So he went out and got him a Prodogy comp, and that's what this video is going to be about today. So let's get into it. All right, so since this is Joshua's gun, I'm going to let him start it off with how much he had to put out for this gun, since he is the one that spent the money. So Joshua,
I kind of actually forget, how much was the sticker price? Because we did trade in.
See, that's Joshua's problem. He's got so much money that he doesn't even think about what the sticker was.
Well, we actually traded in my original Prodogy, my baby. I enjoyed that thing, to be able to get this, the comp. So I'm really hopeful that this thing works really
I think the sticker on this one was either $14.50 or $14.99. So it was, you know, around the $14.50 to $1,500 gun.
And normally we would like to have both guns that we're, kind of reviewing, because I think this is very comparable to the original Prodogy. Obviously, it's just got the comp, right?
It's just got a hole in it.
But there's not too many changes, and we remember what the original Prodogy is like because we shot it so much. We shot that gun a lot. But there is a couple differences that I did notice, at least from the one that I had. One thing is the actual front sight, and that was different because this one is a tritium night sight, and the Prodogy that we had before was a green fiber optic. So I actually prefer this. This is really nice. And obviously the rear sight is on a plate system. We took that out. It comes with a plate, but it's made for their optic that they've tried to push. I can't remember what they call that optic, but I actually kept this plate from my old Prodogy because it's made for the Holosun platform, and so we went ahead and put that on there, but it's able to co-witness. The sights are nice and high. If you want to talk about the slide.
Yeah, I mean, again, Joshua pretty much said everything. You know, the gun is not very different at all, really, from the original. As you guys can see, it's very dirty. You know, it did remind me, because this is a brand new gun. I don't know if they made this stippling any more textured, or if we just really shot that Prodogy a lot. But this did feel like it had a little bit more texture than the one we had. Again, it may just be that we shot that one so much that we wore it down. Yeah, we wore it down a little bit, or it was.
We got rough hands.
Yeah, Joshua's got sandpaper hands, so. But not much is different. You know, you have the great finish that Springfield puts on their guns. You know, no complaints there. The gun, even out of the box without being shot, is just hydraulic feeling. Super smooth. Great action on here. The trigger is pretty much the exact same as what I remember the original Prodogy being. Not necessarily great for a 2011 or double stack 1911 is what this is technically called. You know, not necessarily just a beautiful trigger. It's got a clean break. You know, it's just a little heavier than what I would expect to be on a 2011. I would want it a little bit lighter. And Joshua did have his professionally polished and everything to get it a little bit lighter pull. So I do miss that a little bit. And he may end up doing that to this one too. We just, you know, haven't crossed that bridge yet. But obviously, you know, the main difference is this one's got a hole cut in the front. It's just got a hole, and you know,
they make you pay for it too.
And they do. What's crazy is, I believe the difference of the price is only $100.
Yeah.
So you're really not paying that much for a comped or giant ported version of the same gun. The only thing that, you know, me and Joshua always worry about with compensators and ports and stuff like that is reliability. you just never, you're taking a lot of that pressure away, so it could cause malfunctions, you know, things not feeding properly, and that is something that we had an issue with this gun right off the bat. We did have a few malfunctions with it, and I'll kind of let Joshua explain that actually.
Yeah, so I do want to say the original Prodogy that we had never had a malfunction ever.
Yep.
And we shot that thing a lot.
Which compared to other people's experience was kind of surprising.
Yeah. And so the first malfunction that we actually noticed, and we did video it, I think we got about 3 times on video when this happened, which I'm sure you'll play. But basically we would lock the slide, put a full magazine in there, and then drop the slide, and it would not go in, it wouldn't go all the way into battery.
I noticed you didn't just drop that without a round in it.
Yeah, I know.
I was going to make the little meow sound.
No, I don't want to do that. So it would get stuck, and it wouldn't go all the way in.
Yeah.
And so we kept shooting it, and then some other malfunctions that we noticed is actually while we were shooting is it wouldn't fully go into battery. It was getting stuck on the feed ramp.
Like halfway through the mag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Man, that thing shoots good.
When it works.
Yeah, when it works. Yeah.
And so after we shot it, we did take it, we took it apart. Connor kind of noticed some wear marks on the actual feed ramp, and looked like it wasn't as polished. It was actually getting stuck in certain spots.
Yeah, it wasn't wear marks. It was where Springfield didn't polish the feed ramp properly. There were 2 spots right at the bottom, like right at the start of the feed ramp and right in the middle of the feed ramp. Pretty much right where that round is making contact initially.
Yeah.
2 spots where it was actually roughed up a good bit, enough for you could feel it with your fingernail when you would pull your fingernail down the feed ramp. And I can show you guys a close-up of that. So, you know, that issue is straight from Springfield. That's nothing that we did. We tested the gun with multiple different types of ammo, because sometimes guns are a little specific with really steep feed ramps like this gun has, with the shape of the nose of the bullet. So we tested it with multiple different brands, multiple different loads. You know, we really tried to make sure that this wasn't us doing something wrong or an ammunition issue. We wanted to make sure that this was something that the gun had an issue.
Right.
So what we ended up doing is polishing that feed ramp back down, and polished it all up, got those marks off of there, and the gun up until this point after doing so is 100% reliable.
Yeah.
The gun in its totality is not 100% reliable, because we did have those issues, and those are going to stay in our mind as we continue to test this gun. Right. But it does seem like with that little bit of polishing that we did on the feed ramp, which is all we did, Joshua tested it multiple times. Unfortunately, I forgot to video it, but Joshua did test it multiple times just in our off time. He would load up a full mag, put it in there, and just close the slide with the slide release, and it didn't even really slow down at all.
Yeah.
I mean, it
was
closed
much smoother.
perfectly.
Yeah.
So we are going to chalk that up to being an issue with, you know, the actual feed ramp not being polished correctly or finished correctly.
Yeah.
Because we did put a few mags through it, and there were no issues whatsoever.
Well, and here's the thing. It's not just us that this has happened to.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was really happy about the first Prodogy that we had no issues, because when it came out, we had kind of bought it right when it came out. You know, it was very popular at the time, and there were a lot of other people having issues with it. The exact issues that we had with this one.
Right.
And so it was a little bit disappointing I don't know how long the Prodogy's been out now, but obviously this is the newest model that they have.
Yep.
And they're still having these issues. So it was a little bit disappointing to see that Springfield hasn't, you know, improved their quality control with the Prodogies to make sure that these feed ramps aren't, you know, coming out the door, not polished correctly, because it's still happening to people, and it happened to us. So.
Well, and, you know, this would have been something really easy, because the guns are test fired at the factory before they send them out. This would have been something really easy to catch, and should have been caught.
Yeah.
Because it happened literally within the first mag that we shot out of it. Yeah. So it's not like it's something, we were shooting cheap ammo and scuffing it up. I mean, it happened immediately when we first started to fire the gun. So
yeah. And I mean, is it a hard fix? No, especially if you have a Connor, because Connor likes working on stuff.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't happen, especially again, I say this is not just a brand new gun that came out. I know they added the port, but the Prodigies have been having
the guts
these,
are the same.
Yeah, there's a lot of these lemons out there that they don't polish it properly, and they haven't done anything about it. So that's just something to note.
And I try not to be super hard on companies.
I do.
We're kind of the good and the bad here, because Joshua was very hard on, and we should be. I'm typically not as hard on the companies that are putting out budget stuff. But a company that's going to put a $1,400 price tag, yes, it's a cheap price tag for what it is, but that doesn't matter.
Right.
It's a $1,500 gun, and we got it, and it wasn't working properly. I had to sit there and take my time and knowledge on how to fix the problem. Like you said, some people may not have known what to do, and then they got time sending the gun back to Springfield.
Or paying a gunsmith.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of stuff, a lot of unnecessary things that you have to do to get your gun that should be perfect from the factory running again. And was it a hard fix? No, but we shouldn't have had to touch it.
Yeah.
So like Joshua said, both are a little disappointed on the actual issues that we had, but to kind of flip the story here, the performance on this gun was absolutely incredible. Yeah. It shot very well. How flat it is and just the smooth action of it was insane. Yeah. I'll be honest, there's not a ton of guns at this point that get me super excited, and this wasn't one of them until I shot it. Once we got it fixed up, I could not put this gun down. Just kept wanting to put more and more rounds through it because it's so enjoyable to shoot. And I literally, that's the word that I used. I told Josh, I'm like, I just enjoy shooting it. Yeah. It's an amazing gun for the actual performance that you get.
I don't want to spoil anything because obviously we're going to be comparing this gun to a lot of other guns. But the belt that I had on at the time was set up with my Echelon comp. And I shot this one and I was like, wow, that feels really light. Let me go back to my Echelon comp just to see how the recoil is on that one. And it made the Echelon comp feel like it would kick a whole bunch.
Snappy.
I mean, it was crazy how much lighter of recoil that we had on this one. So stay tuned because we are going to be doing a video where we compare pretty much all the comped guns that we have. Yeah. And this one's definitely going to be in that video.
Seems like we keep saying we're going to do that, and we keep getting new comped guns are added to the market that we want.
We've already shot the video, but we got to redo it because we keep getting new guns with comps on them. So, but it'll be coming out soon. But yeah, I mean, it was crazy how little recoil this gun had.
Yeah.
And, the original Prodigy wasn't bad either, but not only that, but how smooth it is.
Yep.
I mean, it's like they put some butter on this thing, some warm butter. It's just so smooth, and I think that helps out with the recoil impulse on it.
Yeah. Yeah, at this point in the video, Joshua, I know we've had the issues we've had. The issues have been fixed, but would you recommend this gun? I know Joshua originally with the Prodigy 100% was like, I recommend it. No issues with it. We loved the gun. Do you still think with the issue that we had, would you still recommend this gun for the price point that it's at? Originally, we knew Springfield had a iffy track record with these guns. We had a good one. We thought it was all good, and then we got a lemon. So what do you think now about the track record of the Prodigies?
I can tell you I'm not as confident as I used to be, for sure. I would say if you're someone that would, like, you want to spend your money and you're saying this gun better be perfect, I wouldn't buy this gun. If you're someone that realizes that this is a potential issue and you understand that, obviously, I'm sure you can send this back to Springfield. We did it ourselves, but you could probably send it back to them and have that little bit extra hassle, but you're willing to take that risk. Yeah, I mean, after we polished it up, we haven't had any more issues, and it's been phenomenal, and it shoots probably like one of the best guns we've ever had.
Yeah.
Obviously, the trigger's still a little bit heavy. So I would say it's worth it there, but it's just you're taking a little bit of a gamble just because their quality control isn't there. So, yeah,
it's a hard one to answer.
Yeah, that's my opinion of it as of right now. And like, if you had asked me before this one with my original Prodigy, I would be like, oh yeah, go get you a Prodigy. But I was a little bit disappointed in that.
So, where I'm at with this gun is, I think you're kind of exactly on the same thought process I have. Is this an EDC? No. I don't think anybody's going to ever carry this gun as an EDC or concealed carry weapon. I just don't think. I mean,
some people do.
You may, but not for me. The way I view this gun is a race gun. I really don't even view it as a duty gun per se. It's big and heavy, and I would much rather have a polymer frame gun. I would take the Echelon comp. I think this is a gun that you go out, you have fun with. It's more of a race gun, competition gun. You know, typically what most people have 2011s for. So if you're buying it with that in mind, that hey, I'm just going to go use this as something I can shoot really fast with, I can train with and get really good really fast, then I think this is 100% a good gun to get. You may have those issues, but again, you're also paying a lot less than these other companies that are selling these 2011s. So
you're basically saying you're not going to use that gun to protect your life with. You're only going to use it for sporting reasons.
I don't think at this point.
Okay.
Because the company itself, with already us being a little weary of these guns with the track records they already had, I just don't really see this being a gun that I'm putting in the truck or I'm putting in a holster and carrying for the day. This is something I'm going to the range and me and Josh are going to do a dueling tree and I'm going to whoop him with it. Or if we're going to do a competition or something, I may take this because it's just so flat shooting and I can shoot it fast. I just don't view this gun being something that I'm going to necessarily use to defend my life. And I think it's okay for that purpose when you're just going out and shooting. I just don't think I could trust this to be a gun that I carry or use to defend like a nightstand gun or anything like that. I just don't think this is going to fit that, that category for me. So if this is the gun you're looking for those purposes, if you're looking for it to defend your life and to use it at a bedside or a truck gun, I would say, proceed with caution.
I would say
you may not get a great one. You may get a perfectly fine one, and you'd be very happy with your purchase. Or you could end up like us and getting one that didn't work, and it actually had more malfunctions than any other gun we've tested so far, off the bat. I mean, it had multiple malfunctions with the same issue.
And one of the more expensive guns that we bought.
Right. So because of that, I don't think I could recommend it for something that you're going to use to defend your life. If you're getting it for the purpose of just going and having fun with it, training, go ahead. I just can't say go get it knowing that we've had issues with one.
Yeah, and the only thing I would say that would contradict you, I mostly agree, but I would just say, if you run it and it runs fine and you're not having the issues and you're checking out the feed ramp and you're not seeing any issues there, I would be fine, using it as like, I wouldn't carry that big of a gun, but bedside gun or something like that. But the biggest thing is actually shooting the gun, training with the gun, and seeing if your specific Prodigy is reliable. Because I don't think you can just generalize all Prodigies and say they're all good. You're going to have to say, is mine good or is mine not?
Right. Yeah. I mean, and this is just our opinions.
Yeah.
Based off of what we found by shooting them. So if you guys have any questions, let us know down in the comment section. And if you can, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.